Hey everybody, welcome, welcome to Hidden Horror. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate that. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hidden Horror. How are you guys doing today? So today I'm here. We're going to go over days 22 through 28 in the Sean Combs trafficking trial that involves the racketeering. Um, it involves transportation to engage in prostitution and other charges. I think he has about 5 charges and he's facing up to life in prison. So, from a little recap from some of our prior days in court, we know that they're trying to demonstrate that this was an organized unit, organized criminal enterprise where there was drugging, there was forced R, there was S abuse, there was violence. This was a network that included allegedly Sean Combs' staff. Um, there are going to be witnesses there, and they possibly could have had some co-defendants, but right now they're only focusing on Sean Combs. But they're going to try to show that there was a very powerful network, that Sean Combs was very powerful, and that he used his staff to pay people that were involved in this S abuse, this S trafficking allegedly, and that he paid people off, that he made his issues, his problems go away by using his status, his money, and that this was an organized unit. They would text, they would call, they would use all kind of ways to uh, order to set up this S activity, and that this harmed a lot of people, that the S was not consensual, that sometimes there was violence and drugs involved, and that this involved hiring S workers, and they used Sean Combs' staff to make all of this happen. Okay, so um, let's get started. Now we know the main witness in the case is Cassie Ventura. She's already testified, okay? And then we also had people like Don Richard, one of his former artists, testify. We have Jane Doe, ex-girlfriend, testifying. We had also Sean Combs, former assistant, testify. So today we're going to move forward in days 22 through 28, and we're going to also cover how Kanye West showed up at the trial to show some support for Sean Combs. And also, we're going to talk about more testimony by Jane Doe. So, let me, um, I'm going to pull a picture up of Sean Combs because we're talking about him. Okay. Um, there's not there's not too much that I want to add as far as what's going on with him. We've talked a lot about the federal crimes that involve Title 18 of the United States Code. Um, we've kind of laid out the foundation before he was even arrested, right? In prior videos, what he could be charged with, and now we see his charges. His number one charge is the S trafficking. Then we look at the racketeering and transporting um, people to engage in prostitution. Okay, so let's go to day 22. That was June 6, 2025. Okay. Um, the article that I've been reading from It's from Fox 5 New York. I really, really appreciate them breaking down the day-to-day ongoings of the trial. Again, I can't be in New York at the trial. I just don't have the time, but I really appreciate that they have reporters there taking these notes and coming back and providing the information to the public for us to share so we know what's going on at the Sean Combs trial. Okay. So we're on day 22, and it's titled Jane Describes Her Love Contract. So again, Jane Doe was a former ex-girlfriend partner of Sean Combs, and she's testifying about, again, some of the ongoings of their relationship, etc. Okay, so let's start. A woman identified under the pseudonym Jane continued her testimony about orchestrated hotel encounters with other men, allegedly scripted and recorded by Diddy. So we know that this is some similar testimony of who the main star, Cassandra Ventura, right? She said that she also engaged in this X activity with men. Okay, let's continue. She described dozens of S encounters arranged by Combs involving escorts flown in from various locations for live pornographic shows. Okay. So that's where you're looking at that transportation to engage in prostitution charge, right? Okay. Are they being paid? Is there money exchange? Is this consensual? Um, etc. She testified about the physical and mental toll these experiences took on her, including injuries, infections, and exhaustion, while Combs publicly romanced other women. After a trip to Turks and Caicos led to another group sex night, Jane wanted to leave, but instead agreed to a love contract with Combs, receiving $10,000 a month to remain in his life. She used the money to rent a home for her and her child, and Combs also paid for furniture and cosmetic dental work. So allegedly, Jane, okay, she was receiving $10,000 a month per this agreement in the love contract with Sean Combs, and she stayed. Although she says that she had injuries, she had infections, she was exhausted, um, and she was doing dozens of S encounters involving escorts that were flown from various locations. Okay, let's go to day 23, June 9th. Jane on freak offs. Let me change the picture. Okay, let's get a picture, a different picture up. Witness Jane testified about her tumultuous relationship with Diddy, revealing financial ties and dissatisfaction with their freak offs, despite Combs paying her $10,000 monthly rent and legal fees. Okay, so is this a one-sided situation where they're in this love contract and it appears that she's obligating herself, I'm going to say allegedly, to continue these S encounters with the agreement that she's going to continue performing sexually, um, despite again having these injuries, these infections, feeling exhausted. Um, but in exchange, she's receiving this money, and she used the money to pay for housing, and she had some help with furniture and dental work. Um, yeah, it sounds like she was paid monthly to continue these encounters. Okay. Jane recounted a violent altercation in June of 2024. So that's like exactly 1 year ago. It's June of 2025. So we go back to June of 2024, where she attacked Combs out of jealousy, leading to a physical brawl that escalated with Combs allegedly dragging her back into the house. Okay, so if we go back over the testimony, right? If these people are being flown in to where these encounters are happening, and there's dozens and dozens of these encounters happening, so this is something that's regularly happening, and she's saying, no, this is taking a toll on me physically and mentally, and while she's doing these S encounters, allegedly Sean Combs is still publicly pursuing romancing, dating other women. I mean, is she a worker? You have a contract, you're paid monthly, but he's still publicly pursuing other women, dating them, romancing them, taking them out, allegedly, etc. Okay. So, you know, again, they say that she attacked Sean Combs out of jealousy. Is the witness jealous of his dating other women, pursuing other women, romancing other women? That's what it sounds like to me. But she attacked him, and allegedly he ended up dragging her back into the home. Following the fight, Jane called a woman she suspected was involved with Combs, who insulted her over speakerphone while Combs listened. So she's now calling these other women, confronting them about their relationship with Sean Combs, allegedly. And he's just standing there listening because he's not, does not appear that he's in a serious relationship with her or have a commitment with her. She's um her responding in jealousy with his activity, because he's pursuing other women, he's dating other women. Let's move on. Day 24, June 10th, 2025. Jane back in the hot seat. In court, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, known as Jane, was back in the hot seat, testifying about her business and S relationship with Combs, expressing jealousy over his public relationship with rapper Young Miami while keeping her hidden. Now, if I go back in my mind, I can remember a headline. Let's pull up a picture of Young Miami. I can remember a headline where there was some upset by Young Miami. Let's see if I can find a picture of them together. There was some upset by Young Miami because Sean Combs had a child with a different woman. Okay, let's see if I can get this one enlarged. So beautiful woman. Might be able to find a better picture because that one's kind of okay. She's a beautiful young lady. I don't want to have anybody's background on the back. And she dated Sean Combs. So let me read that again. This is for day 24, June 10th. In court, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, known as Jane, was back in the hot seat, testifying about her business and S relationship with Combs, expressing jealousy over his public relationship with rapper Young Miami while keeping her hidden. So she's upset. Jane is upset because his public relationship is with Young Miami. He's appearing out in public with her, going to events with her, taking pictures with Young Miami, while she's being hidden. She feels being hidden, and she feels jealous. I think that's a normal emotion, right? Although Mr. Combs allegedly is providing this $10,000 a month, and she's doing this S activity with Mr. Combs allegedly, she is jealous of the public relationship that Sean Combs is having with Young Miami. She's experiencing him, Sean Combs, dating and romancing other women, and particularly specifically, she's upset and jealous because his public main relationship is with Young Miami, okay? Allegedly. Let's continue. During cross examination, Jane revealed her desire for a more public relationship and her envy over Combs buying expensive gifts for other women. Despite a financial arrangement for S, including $10,000 monthly rent and additional funds for personal expenses, Jane expressed anger and frustration, questioning the value of her body compared to designer bags. Explicit text messages were also presented, highlighting her desire for romance. So that was day 24, okay? So now we're going on to day 25. That was June 11th. Juror issue. Jane reads Diddy text. A potential a potential issue has arisen with a juror as prosecutors request their dismissal due to concerns about honesty. They claim the juror appeared to have a lack of candor with the court, suggesting that the juror may not have been completely honest about a key factor. Meanwhile, Diddy's ex girlfriend, using the pseudonym Jane, returned to the stand for further cross examination. During her testimony, Jane admitted to enjoying the freak offs they called hotel nights. So Jane called the freak offs hotel nights. Cassandra Ventura called them freak offs, okay? Jane admitted to enjoying the freak offs they called hotel nights, as well as movie nights where they watched S videos of themselves and porn at her home. Diddy's defense had Jane read her text messages to Diddy to support these claims. So, in Jane's testimony, she's saying that she enjoyed the freak offs that she called hotel nights. That sounds consensual. If she's enjoying it, she's liking it. They're texting each other. Um, she's saying that, she likes it. Um, that's not good. They said that she had explicit text messages, highlighting her desire for romance. So maybe Jane Doe possibly was okay with it. I'm going to say allegedly, but let's move on to day 26. So let's pull up a picture of Sean Combs um, by himself. They're not talking about Young Miami anymore. So let's get a picture of him up by himself. Okay. Day 26, June 12th, 2025. Juror fight continues. Jane's testimony also continues. The trial of Sean Diddy Combs is heating up with closed door debates in the judge's chambers regarding the potential dismissal of juror number 6. The prosecution has requested the juror's removal due to a lack of candor, though no further explanation has been provided. Public records reveal that juror number 6 is a 41-year-old corrections officer from the Bronx who enjoys 90s hip hop and reggaeton music. The judge postponed his decision on the juror status. Diddy's ex-girlfriend, referred to as Jane and testifying under immunity, spent most of the day on the stand under cross examination. She was questioned about her last encounter with Combs before his September 2024 arrest. While detailing abuse, Jane also focused on her dissatisfaction with the attention and gifts she received from Combs. Let's move on to day 27. June 13th, 2025. Kanye shows up to court in support, juror dismissed. So let's pull up a picture of Mr. Combs and Kanye West. Kanye West made a surprise appearance at the trial, expressing support for Combs. West watched some of the testimony from an overflow room before departing after about 30 minutes. So let me just pause here. So what happened? Kanye West, he showed up at the courthouse. When he arrived, he was not allowed to enter the main gallery where Sean Combs were, where the trial was being put on, but they put him into an overflow room. And I believe he was with Sean Combs' family, particularly his son. And he talked to him for a while. He stayed about 20 minutes approximately, and then he left. That's what I watched, what I learned, okay? But we're just going through this, okay? So let's continue. Meanwhile, the judge dismissed juror number 6 due to inconsistencies in his statements about his residence, a decision contested by the defense team. So let me say this. They were alleging that the juror number 6 lived in one city, but was staying so many days in a different city. That came out. Um, and this is why that juror was dismissed, okay? So I want to switch over to uh, the article because I want to share the picture of Kanye West when he arrived. Okay, so let me just let me go down a little bit. There's a nice picture of Kanye West in his white. Okay. So he appeared at the courthouse, but he only stayed a few minutes. He did see one of Sean Combs' sons. Okay, so let's continue. During the trial, a Homeland Security special agent testified about the seizure of 900 bottles of Astroglide lubricant, 200 bottles of baby oil, and various firearms from Sean Combs' LA home last March. This marked the agent's first investigation involving such items. The trial's fifth week concluded with testimony from his former personal assistant, Jonathan Perez. Perez testified about Combs' habits, including carrying large amounts of money and drugs. He recounted a night when Combs appeared angry and annoyed while visiting his former girlfriend, known as Jane, who accused Combs of physical violence and coercion. Perez noted that Jane seemed to be a willing participant despite the alleged argument. I'm going to say no comments. Okay, no comments. Day 28, June 16, 2025, juror replaced, summary witnesses testify. A juror was dismissed due to conflicting statements about his residence, replaced by an alternate from Westchester. Diddy's defense attorneys attempted to keep a 41-year-old black man on the jury, submitting a detailed letter to the judge. However, Judge Aaron Superman dismissed the juror, citing inconsistencies in his statements. Summary witnesses provided an overview of the evidence, including text messages, cash transactions, and credit card receipts to illustrate the alleged criminal activities linked to Combs. They described messages from Combs' former chief of staff that suggests involvement in a criminal enterprise, including cash for escorts and drug pickups. So they have to prove the criminal enterprise element, right? And they provided evidence relating to cash to pay the escorts allegedly and drug pickups because that is a big part of the case. The alleged drugging, the alleged S abuse, violence, R, and paying the S workers. Okay, so that is a brief overview of days 22 through 28. I'll pull up a picture of Sean Combs since I am frozen. Oh, I have pictures of Sean Combs and Kanye West. Okay. So that is covering days 22 through 28. Oh, wait a minute. We got an image issue. Let's pick up another picture of them. Sometimes you can't, use other people's images. So you just want to be careful about that. Try to find the image of them together. It's a nice image of them together. But that was covering days 22 through 28. Um, I will come back with the next 7 days. I'm sure that the prosecution will probably be wrapping up pretty soon, and then it will be the defense turn to put on evidence. And I'm very curious, is Sean Combs going to testify? I think that he will. I think that he feels he has that charisma, the charm, the ability to connect with the jurors and tell his side of, everything, what has happened, what's happening, what led up to his arrest, and how he feels that, he didn't force anyone. I'm going to say allegedly, this is what I imagine Mr. Combs, if he testifies, is going to say. He's going to say he didn't force anybody to do anything. If they were taking drugs, they were already on drugs, that it wasn't pressure to them, and that the sex was consensual. And if Jane is saying that she attacked him first initially, some would say that he responded defending himself, possibly. I don't know, but I think he's going to say no one was forced. Um, that it was some issues, basic problems in relationships and dating, especially if you're dating multiple people and you do get some jealousy there. But, he was able to handle it. He may feel that he helped these women. He provided for them. He made sure they had housing, they had the things that they needed, and that the S activity was something that, they personally enjoyed. It was a part of, his luxurious lifestyle and being able to have multiple partners and multiple women, and how he engaged in these activities with his within his relationships. It was a part of the relationship. That's what I think. If he testifies, that will be part of his testimony. So I'm not sure. I'm curious, if he's going to testify. And if he does, what is he going to say? Is his mother going to testify? Is any of his children going to testify? Do he have people that support him? That's have knowledge of the ongoings, the S parties. I did watch some interviews, and there are some celebrities that are in support. Some people say they went to a lot of his parties and they didn't engage in any of this type of freak off activity or anything like that. And he has some people that are coming out in support. So we will see. So I will come back when I have 7 more days of courtroom testimony and bring you an update on what's going on the case. If you have any thoughts or comments, you can put them in the comment section. I will read them. And just thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really, really appreciate it. I want you to stay safe, stay smart, stay savvy, be well, all my friends. Bye, everybody.